What's good, people? It's your boy Earl the Pearl. Impromptu show on a Sunday. Hey, somebody tell Donovan Mitchell. Send that let him know tweet out. We need to know if you playing tonight. Let's get into it. What up, man? Happy Sunday to all you good people out there on YouTube watching the Impromptu Ultimate 216 show live right now on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, ring that bell to get all the latest alerts to everything we got going on, man. Y'all know how we do it when we live, man. I need to know where you watching from, man. Drop your city and the state that you watching from, and then drop that hashtag U216 for me, man. Let's see if we can start getting that trending. Big day yesterday for the Cleveland Browns, man. When it got Jerry Jeudy, arrest warrants might be out there for Andrew Berry. He are committing highway robbery left and right. I think we need to start asking questions. Raise your hand if you haven't been robbed by Andrew Berry. That's the question we need to start asking, because he out here fleecing everybody, man. So again, shout out to y'all. We got 61 people live. Much respect, man. I really don't usually have a large live audience, so we finna have some fun with this. So Jerry Jeudy, right? I done talked to a bunch of my friends, and I was asked this morning, they was like, Earl, you like to trade? I said, yeah, I like to trade. They was like, man, you like everything they do. And to me, I think the trade is it's a low risk, high reward trade. I think for the most part, 5th and 6th round picks usually don't make the final 53-man roster. And I know in the Browns case, they've done well, the recent years, finding some gems in the 5th and 6th round. But for the most part, those guys really don't make the roster. And you send that to Denver for a 24-year-old wide receiver that was a 1st round pick that has a lot of untapped potential. And he's going to step in and be immediately your number 2 wide receiver. And I think that's a win for the Browns, right? Because if Jerry Jeudy, for whatever reason, doesn't ball out this year, then the Browns can move on from him and know that you tried to get a quality player and get the best out of him, and you didn't give up much to do so. And on the flip side of things, if he does reach his full potential, then you really got to steal. I think in most situations, right, change can be scary. Change can be very uncomfortable. But in other instances, I think change can be very, very refreshing. It can re-energize you. It can boost your confidence, right? It can renew everything about your faith and your spirit. And I think Jerry Jeudy has the opportunity to reach his full potential with the Cleveland Browns for a few reasons. First being, I think the culture here in Cleveland has changed dramatically since Kevin Stefanski has taken over as the Cleveland Browns head coach. And I think that it's not just cliche, but I think that you see a football team that embodies the head coach here in Cleveland. This is a team that's even keel. This is a team that's tough. This is a team that's able to block out the noise. And this is a team that's proven themselves to be able to overcome on the field and off the field adversity. And you are being able to be added to that type of locker room, that type of setting, I think mentally can only do wonders for a dude like Jerry Jeudy, right? Like, you look at some of the veterans that's on this roster. Look at some of the guys that's in that locker room. Guys like Joe Bitonio come to mind. Myles Garrett come to mind. Nick Chubb comes to mind. You got some guys in here that's real leaders, some guys that's willing to take you underneath their wing and help you out on a personal and professional level. And I think anytime that you're a guy that's been through some adversity and looking to prove people wrong, and you want to be in environments that can help assist you with that, that's a win for you in that aspect. And then another aspect, as far as it comes to on-field play, listen, man, you getting a fresh start. You come into a damn good team that got some notable players on the offensive side of the ball. Like, if you're an athlete, who wouldn't want to be a part of that? who wouldn't want to be added to that roster knowing that, damn, I can possibly make a large contribution to helping this squad achieve their overall goal. And I think that's something that, can't just be like ignored or sneezed at. In 2022, Jeudy had 972 yards, 16 touchdowns, and his yards per catch average was 14.5. That was the best season of his career. See if I can pull up his career stats for you. So these are his career stats. And in his career, he got 211 reception yards and 11 touchdowns. He's played 4 seasons. Going into his 5th year, he has like a $12.9 million cap hit, which I read an article on Cleveland.com today, I believe, by Mary Kay Cabot that talked about, Andrew Berry can still restructure that, turn it into some type of roster bonus, add some void years to it. So, they made this move anticipating that he's going to be here in the long term and that he will reach his full potential. Anytime that you enter a wide receiver room with a veteran, a OG, a real OG, like an OG to me is somebody that see you and that's willing to steer you in the right direction, right? And OG ain't somebody that's going to have you out here wild and doing something crazy. Amari Cooper is an OG. He's well respected in the NFL. He's definitely a top 10, top 15 wide receiver in the league right now. Like the sustained consistency throughout his career gives him a lot of credibility. And for Jerry Jeudy, Amari Cooper is like a big brother. This is a dude, when he stepped on the campus of Alabama, he knew that was the measuring stick. He knew this is the dude that I need to be like or better, so that once I get to that next level, I can be mentioned in a certain light. He wanted to leave his mark on Alabama just like Amari Cooper did, just like Julio did before him. And I think he did a great job of doing that during his college career. Things haven't worked out to date in the league, but man, you back with somebody that you really, really respect, somebody that has shown himself to be a constant pro at this level. It can only help you. It can only benefit you. This dude is 6'1", 193 pounds. He brings much needed speed. He ran a 4.46 40 at the combine. We talk about guys that's trying to get downfield, trying to get this downfield vertical passing attack going. He can only help you. And I think adding him helps everybody else on this roster. It'd be interesting to see what this, revamped offense look like with Ken Dorsey and Kevin Stefanski collabing in the kitchen, to see what the different schemes will look like. But in my head and my first set of thoughts, you got Amari and you got Jerry on the outsides, and now you're creating space underneath for guys like Elijah Moore and David Njoku to be able to work in the middle of the field, get you a running back that's catching the ball out the backfield, a DeAndre Swift, for example, when Nick Chubb is not in the game. I just think that this helps himself and this helps everybody. And I think being in Cleveland with Kevin Stefanski as the head coach, like with the locker room that we have, with the on-field talent that we have, and most notably Amari Cooper, it's going to help Jerry Jeudy reach his full potential, which ultimately is going to help the Cleveland Browns reach their ultimate goal. There's no secret that we needed more playmakers at the wide receiver position. And I understand this dude has not done much to prove, people wrong. There's people that feel like he's a head case. There's people that feel like he's lazy. Steve Smith is famous for saying, hey, he's just a guy, right? And all that can be true, man, but he's 24 years old. And sometimes you got to take into consideration, how mature was you at 24 years old? The only difference is our immaturity wasn't always shone in the spotlight. And so when you're in the spotlight like that and you're still trying to grow up, then a lot of, the immaturity is put on full display for people to be able to pick apart. But to each his own, dude is soon to be 25 years old. He'll be 25 in April. And I just think this fresh start is going to help him. I think he'll be motivated. I think, of course, he wants to get paid. He wants to get a new deal. But you also want to be a part of a winning culture and a winning franchise. And I know it's kind of hard to say the Browns is a winning franchise, but I do see the tide turning. The culture of the Cleveland Browns is much different than it was 10 years ago. And I definitely think that winning on a consistent basis is about to be a real thing here in Cleveland. And so y'all tell me what y'all think, man. We got 191 people watching. Shout out to y'all. I ain't never had nobody watching. I've never had this many live viewers on the Ultimate 216 show. So I definitely appreciate all of y'all. Before we move on to the quarterback side of things, I want to just go through some of the comments. But before I do that, man, don't forget to subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Make sure you ring that bell to stay in the know with all the latest alerts, not only from this show, but the other spinoff shows, the Ultimate Brown Show, Ultimate Guardian Show, Ultimate Cavs Show with my man Mikey McNuggets and Jason Lloyd. Make sure you stay tuned in and tapped into all of that. 200 people watching live. I asked when we started where some of y'all watching from. My man Monty is watching from Richmond Heights. What's up, Monty? Watching from Truro, Nova Scotia, Canada. I hope I said all that right. But Rob Watson, shout out to you. Brian Atkins from Punta Gorda, Florida. Shout out to you. Shout out to y'all. Y'all pulling up on your boy. My man watching from the Heights. Which Heights? That's pretty. I'm messing with you, man. I already know that's Cleveland Heights. Up the way, UTW, Kinsman. Shout out. AB is definitely cooking right now. My man Rob says, I just hope Chubb is healthy. Let's see what else we got here. Not all owners can afford to have that much liquidity available to be able to do that. It's also why other owners were mad the Watson guaranteed money. Facts. Like a lot of people are quick to call Jimmy Haslam a bad owner. To each his own, right? No human being is perfect, but as an owner, he's learned not to really kind of have his nose in everything. But the biggest thing about it is my man is willing to foot the bill. We got a super chat in this boy. See if we can get this up in here. My man Scott Wood said, hell, even if he's currently topped out as a good number 2, he still feels the need and didn't cost much acquired. It's a will regardless. Cheers, Earl. Scott Wood, cheers to you too, man. Shout out to you. Madison, Alabama. Robert Gary. Hey, Robert, man, I got family in Mobile. I got family in Pritchard, man. So let's get on to the second part of this conversation. As y'all know by now, the Jacksonville Jaguars acquired Mac Jones, former first-round pick quarterback from the New England Patriots, right? I don't really have the compensation details offhand. So if y'all got the compensation details on hand, please drop that in the chat for me. But my very first thought when I seen that was, okay, you see the elevated level of importance of addressing your quarterback 2 position. This dude was just a first-round pick. It didn't work in New England. But now you go to Jacksonville, where he's from, by the way, and you become Trevor Lawrence's backup. And at the naked eye, the first thought I had was that's a pretty damn solid quarterback room now. Because to me, if Trevor Lawrence was to get hurt, now they have a pretty decent insurance policy, a dude that got starting experience, that's young, and that was a first-round pick to step in, play a couple games, and hopefully win a game or 2. We seen throughout the NFL last year, I think 7 or 8 starting quarterbacks got hurt to the point of I think it was 22% of the league starters suffered a season-ending injury. And then there were others that actually missed a game or 2 due to injury. You seen the elevated importance of having a quality backup quarterback put on full display last season throughout the entire NFL. You know, luckily for the Cleveland Browns, and this is what makes last season so damn special, when you actually sit back, the emotions is kind of settled, and you look at everything like, damn, man, we really started 5 quarterbacks and made the playoffs. It is so hard to win in the NFL with your starting quarterback. So imagine how tough it is when you rolling out QB2 and QB3. And it's like, you just see this is the first significant move of I need to get me a quality backup quarterback, which kind of brings this thing full circle back to the Cleveland Browns. I'm like the rest of the Browns fans, right? Drop a 1 in the chat if you want Flacco back to be Deshaun Watson's backup. Drop a 2 in the chat if you want Jacoby Brissett back. And drop a 3 in the chat if you want somebody else. But here's the thing. Okay, New England got Nicholas Donovan. Shout out to you, man. New England got a 5th round pick for Mac Jones from Jacksonville. Thanks for that info, bro. Appreciate that. A lot of 1s in the chat, 1 or 2. Okay, so a lot of people was on the same bandwagon, same wave lift that I'm on. You either want Joe Flacco or Jacoby Brissett to be Deshaun Watson's backup. 2 guys that you know, 2 guys that you trust. I'm all for it. What started to make me nervous and what scares me now is I think Flacco might go be that bridge quarterback in New England. I think everything is lining up for Flacco to go be the starting quarterback in New England. Comeback player of the year, balled his ass off with Alex Van Pelt as the offensive coordinator. With, Mayo being the type of defensive-minded head coach that he is in New England, AVP is going to have his hands all over like the offense and being responsible for the install, being responsible for the play calling, etc. Then he already just snagged a couple coaches that was here on the Cleveland Browns coaching staff and took him with him. And so I know Flacco has talked about, if he's going to return as a backup, Cleveland is his first choice. And thank you. Like, you're our first choice too, Joe. Trust me. But I think a true chance to being a starting quarterback this upcoming season has now seriously presented itself on this Sunday. Which means now I think the importance of making sure that you can, possibly get a Jacoby Brissett in here or somebody else for that matter is very, very important. You heard Andrew Berry talk at the end of the season that the Cleveland Browns is going to carry 3 quarterbacks on the roster this upcoming year. We don't know what that's going to look like offhand, but I would definitely love to have a quality QB2, somebody that we know if Deshaun Watson gets hurt, he can step in and he can win some games, but somebody that can also be a mentor to DTR, because DTR at the end of the day is still the long-term investment as the Browns' backup quarterback. And so I when I seen that trade today, 2 thoughts instantly came to my mind. You're starting to see the elevated importance of the QB2 position. And shout out to Hayden Grove of Cleveland.com, who posed a question on X. He said, is the QB2 position becoming more important than running back 1? And I quote tweeted it and I said that QB2 is definitely a top 5 priority of every NFL team. And I think what you've seen happen last year throughout the entire landscape of the NFL has heightened the importance of that position. And you see teams going out here moving fast to address it, and they're doing it in a good way. Mac Jones might not be a starting quarterback in the NFL again ever. But if you giving me a dude who's been in the NFL 3 or 4 years, that was a first-round pick, that even though he struggled, he still has starting experience because there's still lessons to be learned in your struggles, and I can bring him in to back up my superstar and Trevor Lawrence, I'm going to take that every day of the week, especially with the hopes is that Trevor Lawrence don't get hurt and I never have to use that dude. And I think when you look at our situation here in Cleveland with Deshaun Watson coming off the shoulder surgery, I can't say 2 S words back to back. It messed me up. I don't know if anybody else is like that. You see, I had to slow down. Shoulder surgery. When you coming off shoulder surgery, there is cause for pause because it's a unique injury. Not many quarterbacks suffer the type of injury that Deshaun Watson suffered this past season. I think he's going to be fine, but if he's not, you got to have a viable option in there to be able to step in and continue this train. I think that we learned a lot about our team, and Andrew Berry learned a lot about his team last year through the adversity. What he realized was that even without Deshaun Watson, I still got a roster that can really chase down, at minimum, an AFC championship appearance. Now, I know some people might be like, what the hell is you talking about? The Houston Texans blew us out. But if you remember when D'Anthony Bell was on our show, he was saying, They had a lot of film on us. They basically used everything against us that we didn't do well, and it worked. And basically, a lot of us picked the wrong day to have our worst game of the season. But if you look at this team, this is a team that can still get the job done without Deshaun Watson being there. And so the lesson learned was I need to make sure that I always have a quality veteran backup quarterback on this team. Because the reality is 52 other men can't suffer just because Deshaun Watson might not be available. 52 other men still have the common goal of reaching and winning the Super Bowl. We learned a lot about the Cleveland Browns in 2023, and I think all of those lessons can be applied going forward. That's going to make us a more legit contender next year than we were last year. You've already went and got Jerry Jeudy via trade. It'd be interesting to see now with Mac Jones going to Jacksonville to back up Trevor Lawrence, which one of these guys, Jacoby Brissett or Joe Flacco or other, ends up in New England as that bridge quarterback to the guy that they're going to draft this upcoming April. And so to me, that has a direct impact on what the Cleveland Browns may do, how they may go about things, or how fast they may move to go get themselves another quarterback. But no matter what you do, you need to add a veteran quarterback to this roster, somebody that's quality, not just the dude. And if it costs you $8 to $10 million to do so, then damn it, that's the price you got to pay. Because not only will Andrew Berry do so, I think you're going to start to see GMs across the NFL in general get creative about how they go about acquiring that said backup quarterback. And so, free agency legal tampering period kicks off tomorrow. Y'all know we're going to have y'all covered with that on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. I think I'll be on the panel with Jay and G tomorrow. So, I'm gonna get a chance to talk my stuff and put my opinions out there. But this is an exciting time. And you see our GM making moves already. Like he done fleeced another team for a wide receiver. And I think the move that he made this year is going to help make the move he made last year look even better. Because I think that we thought Elijah Moore was like a clear number 2 wide receiver, but maybe Elijah Moore is that legit number 3. Maybe when you got 2 dudes who can stretch the field on the outside and you can get him underneath working in the middle of the field and get him out in space, maybe that's when we can exploit exactly what he does very, very well. Another point to that, since 2022, Amari Cooper got 12 receptions of 40 yards or more. Jerry Jeudy has 10 receptions of 40 yards or more. Again, he's 6'1". He ran a 4.4 40. So we got another dude that's not Amari Cooper that can actually get their ass downfield, stretch the field, and open up things for other people. I don't know about you, but I'm excited. Couple players that I do want, I'm really high on Jonathan Grenard, the edge rusher from Houston. I think that should be the big money signing. I think we should re-sign Mo Hurst, re-sign Taki. I think the Browns might still explore another wide receiver, but now that this move has been made and I've had a couple hours to sleep on it, I'm not so sure if it will be Gabe Davis or not, but I don't think he's done addressing that position. It's going to be very, very fun to see the guys that's linked to the Browns. Hell, who knows, man? Devin White, middle linebacker from Tampa Bay. He might come in and be the second linebacker that's playing next to Jot. I just think now you've put yourself in position to where this thing's going to get fun. Because now you still got another 5th and the 6th round pick that you can play with. I even seen somebody on Twitter, I think it was Xavier P. Shout out to the real Xavier P. Who said, let me go call New Orleans to see if I can get Shaheed, the wide receiver from there, which is another burner. So before we get up out of here, man, first of all, thank y'all. Like I said, over 290 people, damn near 300 people watching live at once. This is the largest live audience I've had since I started the Ultimate 216 show a month ago, man. This is greatly appreciated. I wasn't doing nothing. I felt like, man, you know what? Go to the studio, create some content for my people. For whatever reason, man, the city of Cleveland outside of UCSS ain't feeding as much content to our people that we want to see. But Any questions, man, that y'all got for me? We got about 5 minutes. I'll take any questions. I'm going to go read some of these comments. I want to know who some of the free agents that you all want. Don't forget, legal tampering period starts tomorrow. But before we do that, man, we got to let you know one more time. Subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, y'all. Ring the bell, like, follow, all that good stuff. Even go to the page for this show, the Ultimate 216 Show. Ring the bell to stay notified. Man, I might just feel the need to pop up and go live. You never know. Don't forget the rest of the flagship show, the spinoff shows. Just make sure you stay in tune and say everything that we got going on. Again, man, just read a couple more of these comments before I get up out of here. Thank you enough. Thank you all for just joining me today. We got John in Newton Falls, west side of Cleveland. We got Rob said Cleveland, Ohio, stand up. We got somebody, Sean, he's in Green, Ohio. My man John is in Akron. See what we got here further down on the comment list. He said Flacco didn't win against any playoff caliber teams, just saying Flacco was mid. Okay. Said 4 DTR. Yeah, DTR is definitely not going here. Dog Pound Gang 216 says 1 or 2, either or. Basically saying he'll take Flacco or Jacoby Brissett. Don't matter to him. Rob Harris says, but if it falls, we can also run Stefanski's system so it works out. I think we are blending Kevin's offense with Ken's, not making a whole new offense. Yeah, I agree with that. I think basically both guys are going to go in the kitchen, take what they do well, put it in the pot, throw some seasoning in it, and see what happens. So we'll see what happens. James McGee watching from Charlotte, North Carolina, man. Shout out to James, man. Charlotte is a beautiful ass city. Real talk. Freddie B, the postseason award show you what the league thinks about the Browns. Yeah, I definitely can get that. Whit says Jerry Jeudy is a perfect number 2. Shout out to you for that. Says, I love if we grab Jacoby. His quarterback sneak is lethal. Call it the Brissett push, I guess. Says, I'm excited with what we have. Just hope Watson can get back to form. I think we all hope Deshaun Watson can get back to form. I can tell you this, the Cleveland Browns are doing everything on their end to make sure that he got a whole bunch of weapons to his disposal, right? And so they're going to make it hard for him not to have an excuse of why he underperformed, didn't perform at all. If Deshaun Watson is healthy, which I hope and pray that he is, it's going to be on him, man. Go out there and ball out, right? I think it's in everybody want to see this dude ball. For years we done went back and forth. I don't like Deshaun Watson. I like Deshaun Watson. People hate. Look, the hell with that. We all Browns fans. We all cheer for the brown and orange. At the end of the day, Deshaun Watson can help us reach our common goal, and that's all we want. Kelly Black says, I would try to get Josh Sweat from Philadelphia. He's only 26. Kelly, you might be on to something, and I did not think about this myself. There's a relationship there in Philadelphia. Andrew Berry knows those people pretty well. He is 26 years old. I've been preaching no more of those one-year contracts with dudes that's 30-plus playing opposite of Myles Garrett. Go get you a young stud, lock him up for the next 3 or 4 years, and just see what happened from that. Black Bond 216 sup, Earl. I say go for Wilkinson free agency, and then Braylon Trice at 54. I'm not opposed to getting Wilkinson free agency. You threw big money at Dalvin Tomlinson last year. You drafted Siaka Ika. And I think that when Mo Hurst was healthy, he played well. I really like the contribution that Mo Hurst, provided. And if you get a combination of Jordan Elliott and Mo Hurst back with the hope that you get Siaka Ika on the field more as a rotating defensive tackle, and you got Dalvin Tomlinson there, to me, that's still a very strong room. I just think that you need another dominant edge rusher a little bit more. But somebody brought up a point yesterday, and I went back and I watched a few games, that as the season went on, that middle of the Browns line did get exploited a little bit because of how aggressive that we do come off the edge. So it'd be interesting to see. Chase CBM says if we need a running back, I think we should try and grab Aldrick in the draft. My cousin hit me up today and said that he wants DeAndre Swift. I know Mikey McNuggets is big on DeAndre Swift himself. I want DeAndre Swift for Tony Pollard. I'll take any of them. Maxwell Taylor, shout out from the ATL. Shout out to the ATL, man. I love Atlanta. I love the people in Atlanta. I'm actually going to be making a trip to Atlanta very, very soon. Y'all don't even know it. Dwight says, extend Jerry Jeudy while the price could be cheap and go get Gabe Davis. Both are 24 years old, which looks good for our future. Hey, Dwight, listen, if you telling me we can walk away this offseason with Jerry Jeudy and Gabe Davis at wide receiver added to the room that we already got, I don't think it's going to be a Cleveland Brown fan in the world that's going to look at that and be like, hey, that's not a good move. I think that would be great. King AK47 says, Hurt is injury prone and Elliott is a bust, so Ika is so is Ika. This dude is a clown. I don't know, bro. I think you might be a clown, but I look at it like this. In the NFL, a lot of people get hurt, right? But when you look at what Hurst did while he was available to the Cleveland Browns, he had an impact. Jordan Elliott actually just had the best season of his NFL career last year, and Ika didn't really see the field. He was a young guy on a talented team, so there was really no snaps for him. I think Jordan Elliott's best football is in front of him. We already know what we see from Hurst when he's healthy, so to each his own, man. And Mr. Digital said that's why they are deaf. Exactly, that's why they are deaf. But great show, man. I enjoyed y'all. Like I said, just wanted to pull up. Just wanted to spend some time with y'all, share some thoughts that I had on Jerry Jeudy. Again, man, I understand potential is something that you haven't done yet. And each and every one of us got a whole lot of untapped potential. Sometimes a fresh start, sometimes a brand new environment can help you reach your full potential. Change can be scary in certain aspects of life, but if you welcome change in other aspects of life, it can create a beautiful, beautiful future for you and some beautiful pastures. Don't forget, tomorrow, Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. We right back at it, 11 a.m. I'll be out there on the panel. G. Bush will be out there on the panel. Your boy Jay Crawford will be out there on the panel. NFL free agency, legal tampering period starts tomorrow. We're going to have more for you on Jerry Jeudy and whatever the hell the Cleveland Browns else might do between now and then. Till next time, man, don't forget, I love y'all. Be great. Spread love. Being great comes with a price. Spreading love is priceless. Peace.